The only thing you can fill your mind with and not have it run down is an obsession. For the obsession will dominate your mind completely. Your mind is like a computer. It is filled with positive and negative charges. But your command com, your operating system, is obsessive. It is above either positive or negative charge. It operates your subconscious. It's what makes you breathe. It's what makes your blood circulate. It's what keeps you alive. Obsessive mental attitude. It's not hard work that drains your energy. It's emotional upheaval. The opposite of love is not hate, but fear. No one has a money problem, but people have an idea problem. Think about that. The opposite of love is not hate, but fear. No one has a money problem. People have an idea problem. There are billions of dollars waiting for someone who can figure out a way for someone to make more money. Robert Schuller was once asked, "How old are you?" And he always replies, "Great!" Robert Schuller is often asked, "How you doing, Dr. Schuller?" And he always replies, "Great! I planned it that way." What the world does that mean? Why doesn't he say, "Tall! I grew that way"? Telling yourself you're great does not make you great, even if you tell yourself 100 times. Try it. Punch yourself in the mouth, punch yourself in the nose, slap yourself and say, "Great! Punch! Great! Punch! Great!" It's bull. The premise behind telling your mind you feel great when you actually feel terrible is the premise that you can trick your subconscious into thinking you feel great. And then your subconscious will actually make you feel great. I just don't buy that thinking. Let's investigate it and see if we can find out if it's true. Get downstairs! Let's investigate that premise. You can trick the subconscious with statements made repeatedly consciously. How much could you trick it? Can you make yourself grow taller, prettier, younger, smarter, stronger, happier? Can you make yourself fly? Where's the scientific proof that verbalization of a quality that you do not have will bring that quality around? Quality into your actual life. That sounds very much like Mom used to say when she would say, "Let me kiss it and make it well." It's psychological. It makes you feel good. Now we're back to that feeling. And remember, all PMA is just feel good. It's not work hard, it's feel good. Now I'm not saying that positive thoughts do not influence your mindset and they do not result in mental changes. I am saying that the same effort used to repeat the millions of positive slogans you have to say to keep on that positive flame would be a lot better served as working hard. It would be a lot better served if you worked hard. Instead of saying, "I feel great," work great. Instead of saying, "I feel great," work harder. Instead of saying, "I feel great," work harder. And you'll get a lot better results than just saying, "I feel great, I planned it that way. Hey, I worked really hard. I worked really hard, I planned it that way. I'm obsessed with making my job a success." It's very difficult to change your mind or to be a significant influence upon other adults. It's easy to be a true hero to children. Children, you can influence them. You can influence a generation. And when you influence a generation, you can control a decade. Children are no longer look at athletes as heroes, but they look at them as money makers, as athletic machines that they can emulate and make money. They learned long ago that these are not real people whose lifestyles you would want to emulate, but only money machines and athletic powers. And the only reason they have the athletic powers on the course are so they can get a big check. I just can't tell you how crushed I've been since I hear of Tiger Woods' infidelities. This man was my hero, the greatest golfer who ever lived, and he certainly let the world down. But I wish he would come back to golf. Most people want to be professional athletes because of the money, not because of the game. And that's why most people never make it. They don't have an obsession with being a great player. They have an obsession with making a lot of money. OMA people don't have goals. they have a destiny. They don't have a plan of action. Well, many people don't have a plan of action. They have a vision. They don't have a list of things to do. They have things that they are actually doing. Work. What does that stand for? Work. Welcome obstacles. W. Welcome obstacles. O. Overcome problems. R. Refuse to quit. K. Keep on keeping on. None of that sounds like positive mental attitude to me. That sounds like someone who's obsessed with work, overcoming problems, refusing to quit, and keep on keeping on. That's an obsession. Work is one of two things. Personal efforts to make someone else rich, or two, personal steps that will make you rich. When you are obsessed, quitting is not an option. When you're obsessed with working to make yourself successful, you're going to have to help other people become successful. Remember, you can't get rich working alone and only making yourself money. You've got to show other people how they can make money, and that should be your obsession, to serve other people with what your product is, what your service is, what your job is, to help other people to achieve their dreams. Positive mental attitude, I like to call it the dreamer's drug, the 2-minute fix that you need more and more of. More books, more lectures, more training, more motivation to get the same result. And each time you take more and more and more, you get less and less, just like doing drugs. I need more and more, trying to get that same feel in the head. I tried to get that same hype I had when I got at the Zig Ziglar concert, and then it's harder and harder and harder. OMA is the do-it drug. When you have an obsession, you can't wait to go do it. You can't wait to go help your children. You can't wait to get to work. You can't wait to play your sports. You can't wait to serve your fellow man. You're obsessed with helping people to achieve their goals, which helps you to achieve your goals. You don't need, you're more of a junkie than someone who's on drugs when you're obsessed with your job, with your profession, with your life, with your religion. You are going to succeed because nothing will stand in your way. Have you ever felt that way about a girl or a child or your wife or your job? Think about it. Think about it if you were obsessed with your job as much as you were obsessed with your children, with your family. You know, there are a lot of people who are extremely upset whenever you ask them to make a decision. And they insist on coming back with the money. These people are called, in the sales business, be-backs. We'll be back later and tell you what we're going to do. And what they're actually afraid of is not making a decision, but making the wrong decision. Sales is not pressure selling. Sales is the careful explanation of the product for the values and the benefits that will make this person's life better, and then closing funding for the money. There is not a sale without a close. Sales needs a close, and that's called taking the order. And order takers work at McDonald's. A salesman who doesn't get the order should be working at McDonald's as an order taker. Come on in and the others take your order. They make minimum wage. A salesman creates the desire for the order. He makes the order happen. He's obsessed with the service that he's going to give this person, and as a direct effort of his obsession with the sales, he's going to get the money because he's providing a valuable service to the people. You know, I don't believe in be-backs because they don't come back. They don't come back. And if they do, they ruin the salesman for life. It's one of the cold hard facts of selling. The rules go 100% or less. If you're living on be-backs, you're not going to make a living at all. Here's an example of what that means in your real life. You run an ad in the newspaper with a circulation of a couple 100,000 people, and only 1% of the readers actually read your ad. And 1/100% will actually call to see what the job is about. So now we've got 100,000 possible readers, only 100 who actually read it, only one of those who might actually call you. So that's less than 1/10 of 1%. Out of that one that does call you, 50% of them really are not interested, and 50% of them say that they might be interested and might schedule an appointment. Of those 50 appointments, only half of them will show up. And of that half to show up, only 5 to 10% are interested in actually buying the product. So you're down to 2 to 5% of the people of 1/10 of 1%. So your numbers keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And when you're relying upon that 1/10 of 1% of 1% of 1% to come back, it's just not going to happen. People are afraid to buy if they think they might make the wrong decision. And they will never make that decision without all the facts. You can give them all the facts, but only when you're with them. And the facts are not what actually closes the sale, it's the attitude and the personality of the salesman. If they have to believe that you actually care about them and you actually care that they're going to get the benefits of your product. If you truly believe in your product, if you are obsessed with your product, then your guest is going to know that. He's going to understand that. He's going to believe your passion. He's going to see your obsession. He's going to see your passion, and he's going to know that your goal in life is not to get his money, but to get his respect, to get the opportunity to serve him. And you're going to close them because they have seen your obsession to service, your obsession to being a great person to deal with, not a money-hungry, greedy, lying salesman. OMA is not subject to reason, it's subject to action. Keep your mind on the things you want and off the things you don't. That's not possible with positive mental attitude, only with obsessive mental attitude. Only with an obsession will you keep your mind singularly focused on that what you want. Never fire, inspire. Ideas are a dime a dozen, but those who implement them are one in a million. You know who said that? Mary Kay. People will support that which they help create. If you have a bad week, you need a sales meeting. If you have a good one, the meeting needs you. Mary Kay again. Singing creates enthusiasm. Music creates moods. Talent will never overcome lack of enthusiasm. Those who are not closing anything complain the most. Obsession is the total commitment of your mind, your body, and your spirit in pursuit of your vision. It is the refusal to accept any outside, inside, mental, physical, or emotional condition that would change, alter, or modify your purpose in life. It is the complete willingness to give your life, your fortune, your future in pursuit of your vision. That's powerful. That's what an obsession is. It is the complete willingness to give your life, your fortune, your future in pursuit of your vision. When you keep a definite purpose in mind long enough, it becomes an obsession. Positive mental attitude seldom leads to physical work, but only mental gymnastics. Obsess to progress. PMA cannot exist alone in your brain. It will always attract negative emotions. Whatever becomes your obsession will become your possession. OMA is not a hope, it is not a dream, but a keen, pulsating, dominating desire. Terrorists and patriots are both obsessed, or they could not do what they do. You don't blow up children because you have a positive mental attitude. And you don't kill another man because you have a positive mental attitude. You kill a man because you're obsessed with serving your country or your God. If you touch a truth, then you can use that to draw false conclusions for foolish and lazy people. Napoleon Hill came close to saying it right one time in his book. He says everyone wishes for money, but only desire with a state of mind that becomes an obsession will bring riches. How can he say that and then teach positive mental attitude? Napoleon Hill said, "You'll never have money unless you work yourself into a white-hot heat of desire." A white-hot heat of desire. That doesn't sound like a positive mental attitude to me. That sounds like working under an obsession. Napoleon Hill said, "There is nothing right or wrong which an obsession will not cause to become a reality." How can he say that when he teaches positive mental attitude? Obsessive mental attitude, even the pronunciation of the word is magical, for it is the same word used for the meditating power of concentration in the Orient. Obsessive mental attitude. Napoleon Hill said, "No ordinary desire can withstand the discouragement, disappointment, temporary defeat, criticism, and constant reminding of it being a waste of time, only an obsession can. How can he say that and teach positive mental attitude? Napoleon Hill said, "Men who accumulate great wealth are always ruthless, cold-blooded, obsessed. The only people who can take defeat as an encouragement to further effort is a person who is obsessed." How can he say that and write a book on Think and Grow Rich? You can't think and grow rich anymore. You can think and grow tomatoes.